Hello and welcome to my channel. In my videos, I'll share my investment journeys with you guys. I'm investing in Canadian stocks and mostly in dividend stocks. I start in Feb 10th this year and I will update my dividend income monthly. And if you haven't seen it, feel free to check out my video about my first dividend income by clicking the card on the top left. In the meantime, I would like to talk about the stocks in my portfolio, the good, the bad, and why I choose them. Today, I'll talk about Algonquin Power and Utility Corporation, which is currently at a dip. So let's get started now. AQN is a growing renewable energy and regulated utility company, and regulated company utilities are known for their ability to generate predictable returns regardless of market conditions, and that makes AQN have a portion of safe and steady income. The company currently owns more than 35 clean energy facilities in 4 areas, including wind, solar, hydroelectric, and thermal. The world is transitioning to embrace clean energies, so I do look positive on the future of this company. Let's first look at the growth of the stock. We can tell that in the long term, this company is growing upward, so this upgoing tendency is a good sign for long-term holders. And if we look at the year-to-date price, we can tell like it is actually at the lowest price for this year. And I will call it a dip. The reason I call it a dip is because the drop of the price is more due to the storm in Texas than the company itself. So we can see the news that this storm may cost the company to lose as much as $55 million. And this is because their natural gas wells and wind turbines are kind of frozen in that extreme weather. So I think this drop will be eventually recovered as there is no fundamental change in the company. Now let's look at some other numbers of this stock. AQN's market cap is around 12 billion, which is not small. The PE ratio is 14.04. So usually a PE ratio below 20 means the stock is not overvalued and can be considered to buy. And if we look at the historical data of AQN's PE ratio, the 5-year average is around 25.62. We can use this average to estimate where the PE ratio will eventually go to. So as long as the current PE ratio is below this average number, we can consider to buy the stock. The dividend yield of AQN is around 4% per share, which is nice. And when considering a dividend stock, we not only want it to have a high yield, but we also want this earning to be stable. So value we need to check out is the payout ratio. We can see here the current payout ratio of AQN is around 72%, which means the company will give this percent of their earnings to the shareholders as dividends, and they themselves will keep the rest 28%. Usually a payout ratio below 70% is good, and in our case here is 72%, and I think it's okay. And it is forecast that in the future that AQN's dividend in 3 years will be covered by their earnings, and that will take up around 82% of the total earnings. Lastly, let's look at the balance sheet of AQN. Here, what I look for is the current ratio, which is the current assets divided by current liability. It tells the company's ability to pay short-term obligations or those due within 1 year. So usually a current ratio above 1 is good, and above 2 will be extremely good. So let's see AQN's performance. So the latest data is from 2019. So let's look at this. So we can see the total current assets is 513,191, and the current liabilities will be 872,066. So we actually get a current ratio of 0.59, around 0.6, which I would say is not good. So definitely AQN is not a risk-free stock. So this low current ratio is definitely a bad side of investing in AQN. Currently, I have 6 shares of AQN in my account, which takes up around 3.36% of my entire portfolio with an average price of 21.62. So it all-time return is minus 11%. So far I'm down around $14 on them. But I consider the future of the company is promising, and I'm sure this kind of downtrend is just a short pain due to the extreme weather in Texas. And in the future, the price should goes back. So I think I will buy more shares to average down my cost on QN maybe sometime next week. So to sum up, AQN is still an undervalued stock, and it on the good side, it has an upgoing trend in the stock price over long term. It has a reasonable PE ratio and is below 5-year average. It has a good dividend yield with a reasonable payout ratio. However, maybe one downside or a risk that you should consider before you buy is that they actually have a low current ratio, which is around zero point 0.6, which is below 1. So this is something you want to consider before you buy. That's all for today's video. What do you think about this stock? Will you buy or keep it in your watch list? Share your opinions with me in the comment below. If you are about to start investing, think about using Wealthsimple Trade, a commission-free platform to access most stocks on the Canadian and US market. And if you sign up with my referral link below the description, you will get $10 bonus when you trade $100 in it. If you already have an account but haven't redeemed the bonus yet, you can still get it by using my referral code shown here. If you enjoy my video, please share, hit the like button, and subscribe my channel. I'll see you in my next video.